Yes, retaining it massively.
I mean, it was obvious.
15,000 in excess of votes. And I think that congratulations to the New Patriotic Party, all those who made sure that they retained the seats. That was a good showing. It is 70.9%
15,000
of the total vote cast. So that's quite a landslide, as it is, because the nearest was the NDC's Kwesi Amankwa. Mr. Kwesi Amankwa, good morning to you. Better rack next time. 3,723.
Asante phone be say we anshara nko enimu kra. Oh, anshara nko enimu kra.
And then the two Kwekuduas. I don't know. It looks like one was less popular than the other, though. So
the whole is less popular than the. What's the vulture? Is it a vulture?
No, this one. No, this one is a dove.
Oh, it's an ostrich.
This one was the one that Noah sent out there. No, you remember? And then he brought back the leaf. So yeah.
How did Noah build the ark? With the hoe.
Oh, right.
He had to chop the wood.
Oh, so in natural sense, Junior Kwekudua was working for Senior Kwekudua.
Exactly.
Okay.
But I don't think the results are surprising. I mean, this is a stronghold of the Ashanti region. And the Ashanti region by itself is a stronghold of the MPP. So, I mean, there are a lot of people who are, saying that this is a show of what could happen in 2024. And I honestly, and I was listening to some, professors also speak. And I think that we have the same idea because Kumawu alone is not enough to determine how the 2024 elections will go because, again, it's a stronghold of the NPP. If he had gone the other way and probably gone to the independents or the NDC, then we'll say that that really shows that there are lots of disgruntled people, and they are not only disgruntled in their homes, but rather they are showcasing it. But in this case, I really don't think that it's going to make much of a, a difference with regards to what could happen.
Exactly. Or it's what's representative of what's going to happen in 2024.
Anything can happen in 2024 at this point. Anything.
What's quite disturbing for me is the different levels of what we've come to call vote buying in the country. I mean, yesterday we were on ground, Evans Nkum and all our men were on ground speaking, and even from other media houses, from what was making the rounds on social media, I mean, people were giving as low as 10 cedis to vote. Others were very peeved that they were not even giving anything at all, and they still had to vote. There was a young lady who was very upset that she went to the MP seeking for 1,000 Ghana cedis for her nursing education. No, was it nursing? No.
I think for something else.
Exactly.
To go and learn a trade.
And then he rather took somebody to school, to a nursing school, and saw the person through. So she was very peeved. I mean, well, you can say that these are not things that must really account for you voting for somebody or you not voting for someone. That's quite personal. But when it comes to development, I mean, we've been talking about it. They were complaining about roads, talking about it, and all that. And just a few days to elections, the roads were being constructed. Now, I was listening to Richard here about it's a good thing, but listen.
If we have such debt being recorded often within a term of a presidency, it will mean that more roads of various constituencies will be done. For example, if you come to Tema West, my road from Ajekwejo to Santor to Ashale-Butri hasn't been done. So, for example, if we have,
if
it is a governing party, particularly for a constituency, and then an MP dies, and that will compel the government of the day to come and do roads in constituencies and distribute money to constituents to be able to vote. I think that that's a good thing.
You think
so? Those are the
positives
I keep for, because you see right now
you don't have to die before development.
Exactly.
Comes to your
yes. You don't have to.
That is being realistic and moralistic. But that's idealistic, really. That's the ideal thing. But the realistic thing that we've come to meet is that development at a pace that the constituents and voters who go and cast on December, is it 7 that we vote?
Yeah.
Okay. And each 4 years, they have to wait for another 4 years to hold those people they elect into power to account.
Yeah.
I mean, that is the current pace at which voters are now able to hold people responsible they have voted into public office. And if it would take a governing party's MP to die, so that that governing party would then come and construct my road, build extra amenities or facilities for me as a voter, or the larger mass of voters or constituents, I think that would be my best pick from all this. You don't have to leave roads to an election year. You don't have to leave the road to the eve of the election. You don't have to leave roads to when you have a by-election. And I think that now we've come to a point where the politicians want us only to hold them at the scruff of the neck. Why is it that citizens in Kumawu are demanding money before the vote?
Yeah.
Citizens of a voter age saying they want money before the vote. How much can be given to you? Because you are in your thousands.
Yeah.
There are over 34,000 voters in Kumawu. If everybody is giving 50-50, let's say the governing party gives 50, the opposition gives 10. How much money is that? And the politicians, which is better? Do you invest in actions, activities that will give returns, create opportunities for the citizens, or you make a one-stop investment?
A one-off, yes, 50-50 CDs or 10 CDs.
And I think that while we look at why Mr. Enim has done so well with the help of the governing party and everybody else trooping into Kumawu for the vote, we should ask, do we think that everyone in all the strongholds, whether it's the voter in some part of Northern region for the NDC or Ashanti or Eastern region are happy? Because clearly people who are within a certain productive age are raising questions.
Yeah.
You know, if those same voters were in America, would they have to go to a Republican senator
to ask for money?
Exactly.
Or
to be
a
put
Democratic
school
Party senator to ask for money?
Yeah.
Those are the similarities or dissimilarities that we have there. Look, if you have any friend who used to live in Ghana and migrates to Canada or US or the developed, you ask them their prayer points, they'll tell you it has stopped. It's no more about car,
job.
It's not more about a house, it's not more about education.
No.
Even if you don't have a job, you have welfare.
Yes.
Unless those who are watching from the diaspora say what I'm saying. And I'm not saying this because I haven't gone to live anywhere.
Welfare if you're a citizen.
Yes. You're in need.
Yeah.
You know,
welfare if you're a citizen.
If you're a citizen, of course.
Yeah.
You know, and that is it.
You see, but my concern then would be that I think that as voters, we need to really look beyond just receiving maybe 10 CDs, 5 CDs, a bag of rice to vote for someone. Because clearly, if he's giving you that money to vote and you cast the vote for him, he's going to disrespect you eventually because he will not come back again until later when he needs your vote again. We need to rise up and say that I'm not going to receive money, but even if you pay me, I'm not going to come and vote for you because I don't even trust that you do a good job.
So you collect it but not vote, right?
Me, I will not collect. But I want us to send a signal to these people that they cannot continue to take us for
give
fools
us money so
and
we
think
vote.
that the only time we're important is when they need our votes. And so they'll come and fix our roads the night before and still expect to win. It would have been great if Kumawu in particular sent a signal to the MPP and probably voted for somebody else, hoping that that person would do a better job. But send them a signal that you cannot take us for granted for this long and still expect an overwhelming win like, we witnessed yesterday. Let them know that you have not done the job. And it's not the job of the MP, first of all, to even construct the roads. So if an MP dies, and that's when the governing party thinks that that's when we should fix roads, you're sending a wrong signal to the community as well, to make them think that it is the job of an MP to do those things. And this is not their job. They're supposed to go to Parliament to formulate laws that will benefit your constituency. Have they done that? And if they haven't, constructing my road should not be enough for me to want to vote for you. I will kick you out just to send you that signal. It's quite unfortunate that a lot of us, cannot make ends meet, which is why we are at the benevolence of these parties when they need us. And we'll collect the monies and still vote for them. But if everybody was empowered to a certain extent, I don't think that we'd even want to continue having that conversation about why you should give me 10 CDs, a bag of rice, a goat for me to vote for you. Let's rise beyond that. And it means that we have to educate as many voters as possible. That your vote does not lie or your development does not lie in that 10 CDs that you're receiving from whoever just to vote for that person. Are they doing the job? If they are not, kick them out. It's as simple as that. We need to go beyond just voting on tribal lines. Because again, if you understand the voting system, then you know that the Ashanti region, for the longest time has voted on behalf of the NPP because the NPP is known to be, strongly Ashanti. And that's why they're voting along those lines. But are they doing what they ought to do? We've had so many disgruntled people in the Ashanti region. Majority Leader's constituency is a clear example of how they pelted him with water. Again, if another NPP person comes and promises all kinds of things, will they vote for that person, knowing very well that all the promises that were made to them were not fulfilled to a large extent? It won't happen. We need to look beyond that and really send a signal to the government and politicians that we are wiser than you think we are. 10 CDs is not enough to want me to vote for you.
Yeah.
It doesn't make any sense.
Very, very well said. I agree. I mean,
it's
it's the education of it. But I think that most people who were disgruntled actually spoke up or made a statement, but it wasn't loud enough. This is what I mean. In 2020, we know that the total number of eligible voters in the area is 34,000. But in 2020, 29,280 people voted. Okay. Now, in 2023, still 34,000 eligible voters, but only 21,000 people voted. And that's a difference of 8,000. So then it means that 8,000 people are displeased. They are not happy with the way things have gone in the area, and they decided to not vote at all. But could it have been more? Yes, it could have been more if the education was there, that it is not enough to just take 5 cedi, 10 cedi, or 20 cedis from a from a politician just so you can vote for them on that day. I mean, we saw the elderly in that society just moving to go and vote because I heard a woman say, "Oh, mama, me sheba me nana no." But if the education had gone down there, say, well, no, but wanye say, and what's the voting man, so that the next time he would do the needful or be responsible enough so that you can vote.
I love this.
That would have that would have gone down well with most people. It's the education that we need. The 10 cedi that you're taking, I didn't quite a better and name what's it going to buy for you? What can it buy? 10 cedis. And one of the SOTs, even the lady said, I think they were giving 50 cedi or something, and he was asking the interviewer that Febika Humami, sorry, Bibeka Humami, because no money no and so me how in this day and age in 2023, as in Febika Humami, so if yours is higher, then I would vote for your party. But that's not what's supposed to be happening. And then we are sharing cloth. Now it's gotten so bad that we are sharing cups of rice. Not even in bags anymore.
My
but
prediction
in
is
cups.
that the main election, if you are a voter in an urban area, a peri-urban area, and then you're in upscale rural community and then rural community, you're going to receive the items based on that.
Yes.
You know, there's no delegate or voter in East Legon who will receive a cup of rice.
No way.
Or who is in main town Kumasi or main city Kumasi who will receive a cup of rice.
Right.
Do you understand?
Right.
So I think they categorize the voters because I'm sure when you say Bella, you like this. Forgive your iPhone.
On your Range Rover
Do you understand? But that is how far we have monetized the politics.
Yeah.
That is why we keep going to borrow. And that is why when you ask the politicians, they conjure all type of responses as to why monies have been accounted for or not accounted for. And that is the reality of our situation. Sometimes I wish when we were having the transition from 2000 up to now, and everybody was happy because we didn't have a military dictator who had transitioned into a civilian being president again. Whether those who took power then and subsequently from the Mills administration, whether they thought Ghana would be like this today or could have been better. You know, that these are key issues that we all need to dispassionately talk about. Yeah. And look, in Kumasi or in Ashanti region, there are various technical universities there, colleges of education, universities. All those people, when they finish school, what do they do? In Accra, they are there. Tamale, they are there. Every region, okay.
Unless we run away.
Anyway, so I have Nimani who wants to ask whether we can. Why is that the police don't arrest people who give money to voters? Because I think it's a key question. Why is it that we know that it's against, well, not clear regulations or laws in terms of you saying that you're giving transport, etc., why is it that we don't,
we don't arrest or punish deeds like that, right?
Yes, we have to punish.
Anyway.
I mean, to be fair, the Sechedumasi incident where the woman was
sharing the
money. We're told that the Office of the Special Prosecutor has invited her for some questioning. They're investigating the matter.
But you see,
so let's hope.
The lady who was spreading the money.
Let's hope that it goes beyond just the headline that they are investigating the matter and some actions are taken, so that it will send a strong signal to the political, folk that you cannot keep doing this because
I shudder to think what will
allowed.
happen next year.
Oh,
that's
only God
2024.
knows.
Yeah, 2024.
And you see,
Charlie,
if
Charlie, I forgot
parties are
find some nice MP, we make a
500,000 Ghana
befriend them.
cedis for you to file to run, to represent your party as president,
yeah.
and you have to even pay 30,000 to pick the forms.
Yes.
It starts from there.
Yeah.
Because if I'm investing all this money into my bid to become president, to become MP, eventually, when I get the bid to represent my people, I'm going in there not to think about the people, but to get my money that I invested first.
Yes.
Then after that, if I'm not greedy, I'll start thinking about my people.
Right.
So the conversation really needs to start from that point, that are we still going to allow people to invest so much money so that when they come, they start looking out for themselves and not the people? Otherwise, we'll never really get to the bottom of this. And they'll continue to pay 10 cedis just to get you to vote for them, so that when they go in, they'll forget you. Because they feel like they've bought you anyway, and they've bought the position with the amounts that they're spending. I mean, it goes beyond that, and maybe that conversation has to be had.
I think we've got the tape of one of the women who was in, is it Kumasi, who was given money to vote. Let's take a look at that one.
Me and so me fear ni pa kwa nursing school man na there 1,000 Ghana nursing school then na ska wo mu I must have to aba bi e bi nsi bi na me pero be ba ka tabisa na won kwa nkwato aba e so na problem ma aduane adi mo no mu team e di mu nko otu ni mo ho ma she bi ma ni papa wa wu o du fear ni pa na ko.
Yeah, so this was the very one I was speaking about early on. I mean, she's very peeved, very upset that she needed only 1,000 Ghana cedis from the MP. She wasn't given, but that same MP, according to the young lady, took somebody else to school, I mean a whole nursing school, and paid for all of it. But exactly what you were talking about. I mean, why would this young lady even feel entitled that this MP is supposed to give her money for whatever it was that she was going to use for it? It's because they promised too much. In a bid or in just a quest to be able to win and gain power, to become MP, they promise heaven and earth. Tell these people all sorts. Give them some little money to vote for them. And after they come into power, they forget about them. And the only time they go back into these constituencies is when they need these people to vote for them again. So you find people like this young lady who would never, ever vote for this particular MP. If another MP from another party had given her 1,500 for that same 1,000 Ghana cedis, her allegiance would have gotten to.
But where is the MP getting that money from?
We don't know. We
So
have
when
no
it comes
idea.
to
Mr. Sampiyali says that it's the miracle of road construction in Ghana.
Yeah.
I have never experienced in my adult life that it can take a government to construct roads and asphalt them within 10 days.
Yes, yes. But we saw it
If we
in
can do roads in
2016.
10 days,
Yeah.
why are most of Ghana's roads so
Exactly.
terrible? And it happens each
Which
election
I
cycle.
saw that miracle in 2016, and I will never forget. Wherever in this city, Spintex Road, East Legon, you're coming to work in the morning on a dusty road. By the time you close and you're going back, I'm like, so this is doable. We can do this in this country.
Like the way the white people do it.
2016,
Trust me.
it was amazing. If you're telling us that the contract to do the roads in this Kumawu area was given a year ago, and the late Baswa actually spoke about it publicly. He announced that the contract was out there and had been awarded to a contractor, or they were looking for a particular contractor to give it to. How come in a span of a whole year, 12 months, it wasn't done? But in just 10 days, the road minister himself was there, making sure that these roads, hey, Charlie, we are magicians in this country. So if it's doable, why do we sit and wait?
In the Lejokuku constituency, and when I used to live there, I remember that the MP used to live next to us then. She was a doctor. And she took us for granted for so long.
Dr. Grace.
Yes, Nolly. Nolly,
That was her
Lashite.
name, eh?
They took us for granted for so long. Our road was dusty, and this was even where she used to live.
Lejokuku.
that week, I think it was the day before elections or something, then they came to tar the road. She lost. And I was happy about that, not because I don't like her, but I was happy that they still sent her signal. I mean, when it comes to Lejukuku, the issue is different because every 4 years they'll vote for somebody else because they'll say Mokwaya and Mokwaba. But at the same time, I just felt like at that point, they sent a signal that you cannot take us for granted for 4 years, suddenly come and construct our roads and think that we would vote for you to stay in power. It doesn't work that way, and we need to do that to all of them.
You remember we did, at Joy, we did Fix Lekma now, or Fix Lekma. The people were peeved, and this is before 2020, that Okoboy had promised that he would do that road from that Lekma junction to, is it Manette also? It hasn't been done on time.
As for Dr. Okoboy's own, it's a different.
It was a special case.
Honestly, I wasn't happy with how
he didn't do the road on time.
It was a special case.
The road was done.
Someone said that they brought rice, they didn't bring oil. Someone said they shared pans. She didn't get some of the pans, so that's why she voted against it. Or maybe she didn't get the lid of the pan.
She
voted against it. But again, it circles back to the NCCE. And before the Kumawu elections, I want to understand, did they at least try to educate the people on their rights? Because that is their mandate. When it comes to, citizenry and the awareness on their rights,
civic education.
that is where they come in. Did they do that?
Do they
and
have
even
the budget?
Beyond, exactly, even beyond Kumawu, have they been able to educate citizens on their rights? And then it comes to the issue of, I remember when Madam Josephine Nkrumah was in power, and she complained about not having access to funds, even the cars to use to travel around to educate people. They didn't have it. So we are really not addressing the problem. Every day we wait for 4 years, come back to the same spot, and we talk about vote buying and how citizens are voting for the wrong people, etc. Then we go to sleep, and then the NCC doesn't act again until we roar. Then they show their faces and talk about their challenges. Then we go to sleep again.
It's amazing.
So it's just a cycle.
Things
and
must
we keep
change.
going round.
Things must change. Things must change.
Charlie.
News a day. News a day. You're watching us this morning. First National Bank, Accra Mall branch. Good morning to you. Good morning to Ebo Samoni as well. You are also watching. And to all of you who watch us every morning, thank you so very much. So News a day. Thank you for watching this morning. I've done it too, so you can't hold my neck again. And then
Professor Kwating, you're celebrating your birthday. You are in Kumasi, and you said I should say good morning to you. And just in case we're not able to do the birthdays before, because these days,
yesterday a lot of people were waiting for birthdays. Yeah, we apologize. We are so sorry.
And then my favorite, Dr.
Verla.
Dr. Salifu Combat.
Drum roll. No, it's coming.
Pharmacy
I'm just telling you that it's coming.
No, it's
I'm changing.
I'm changing. It's a different name.
Dr. Salifu Combat of Combat Pharmacy Group.
You will circle back to the main
Presbyterian
name.
Hospital. Good morning to you and to your wife Flora as well.
We beg you. One name.
Okay. Lydia Nyaba.
In fact, 2 names.
Lydia Nyaba.
3.
Lydia Nyaba. You're with the Ghana National Association of Teachers Secretariat in Cape Coast, the Central Region. Good morning to you. And then Dr. Yao.
No, we need to do a Zoom call with Lydia.
And
you've been mentioning her name every day. We need to
Lydia
meet this famous
Okay,
Lydia.
we'll do a Zoom call. And Dr. Yao Osei Duchum, the Minister of Education.
Great work.
You are doing some great work. Forget about what the IMF says. You are undertaking the mandate of the president. So
if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Yes, so an experience education.
So will you have a conversation with him about what the IMF said about reviewing the free SHS?
I'll call him.
You'll call him. Can we do a Zoom conversation with him too?
Okay, I'll arrange that.
Yeah,
okay,
just to say good morning every morning.
Good morning to you.
Yeah.
We just want to say good morning every morning.
Sharon, you guys, you are distorting my thoughts. Shall I even forgot? Okay.
Honorable Education Minister,
because
good morning, sir.
Nana Afresi Kamensa.
You left that one out.
Deputy Coordinator, Free SHS Secretary. Good morning.
But do you know the Education Ministry won't be happy with you? All the people whose names you have left
I know,
out. You need
right?
to get a list. So that every morning we go through the list and say good morning. What do you think?
Anyway,
it's not too late, right?
It is time
give me
to
what
buy.
I'm sweating.
You will sweat. It's time to buy. Let's head over.